Oh my god, that's horrible! That's just terrible. Oh god. Oh, disgusting. Alright, what's up, guys? So, this is the first episode where I really feel like, I don't know if these are really episodes, but this is the first video where I really feel like I procrastinated it because I didn't really want to talk about it. But, it just illustrates how deeply insecure we are, So, first of all, I got some physical insecurities, right? But on top of that, I got some mental and emotional insecurities. So, my physical ones are, I got a big old cannonball belly. I worked at this gas station and I got a bunch of free food all the time. And it got to a point where I was just eating large pizzas all to myself. Fried food throughout the day. And I worked there almost every day. So, it really contributed to my overall weight. I'm still a young buck. So I got some acne going on, right? And when I was younger, I really neglected my dental health. So while I'm on top of it now, some of the damage has kind of more or less already been done. So what I'm doing right here is something that you should do. You should pinpoint what are the things that I'm really insecure about. And physically, those are my things. Now, some of the other things that aren't physical that I'm insecure about is sometimes my intelligence, because when I was in school, I never really got good grades. So, what some very well-meaning people would say things like, "Come on, you're not stupid, are you?" And I just continued not to get good grades after they said that. So sometimes I would think, maybe I am. And another thing is my memory. Although, to be fair, I'm not super insecure about that one, but it's something that causes a lot of problems, and something that really kind of bugs me about myself. And another thing is not very macho and manly, not very masculine. I would say I'm so in touch with my feminine side. And as a man, that's not something men really like to admit. They want to be seen as men, not as like men. So these are just a few things. And so now you might be thinking, what do I do with these things? I've addressed them, and that can actually do a lot in and of itself, especially if you avoid talking about those things and talking about how they affect you and make you feel. A last one, which is kind of why I'm doing this while I'm walking. This is kind of a populated area in Flandreau, if that's even possible. And it's a good time. It's like about 7 p.m., maybe 8. Lots of people outside their homes. And one thing is like if you catch me in the car doing one of these videos, I'm all, "Yo, what's up, guys? How you doing?" But when I'm outside or I'm in front of people, I kind of tone it down a little bit. But yeah, so that's another thing. Just kind of putting myself out there. I think that's a lot of people's thing. But so here's what you do with it. So I'm about to go on a long rant in this video, but basically the gist of it is, whatever your insecurities are, take them one by one and figure out what the inverse of them is. The negative side. So what's the positive side of them? That's basically the gist of what I do, but it could be very helpful, so you might want to check it out. But you definitely don't have to. And here is a timestamp if you don't. What you do is you take each individual insecurity and you think, okay, So I'm very well acquainted with the bad sides of what this is. Now, what are some of the upsides of having some of these insecurities? And that's a worthwhile question. That's a big dog, really cool looking dog. So yeah, so I mean, one thing about having a big old cannonball belly, right, is you have plenty of opportunity and plenty of excuse to get outside and go walk. And when I walk, I reflect. And when I walk, I lose a little weight, right? And it's also another thing that I have the opportunity to manage, and another thing I have the opportunity to solve. And that makes me stronger mentally and physically as a person. And that's something I might not do if I've had a fast metabolism for most of my life. And, it's something where, since it was already taken care of, I never really thought about my nutrition and how physically active I was being, and things along those lines. And I was really just going with the flow. And if you go with the flow, you're just kind of a leaf in the wind sometimes. So yeah, I mean, it depends on which flow you go with. So yeah, I mean, acne, right? It teaches me that to take better care of my skin, to learn more about maintenance. And where when I was a kid, I could rub dirt all over my face and never wash it and just be completely fine. Now I'm older, and I have a good opportunity to learn what it takes to take care of your skin. Dental hygiene, that's another one. Regular trips to the dentist. I mean, it's along the same lines as the acne one. Maintenance. And that's something my grandpa's very good at, and something I've always admired him for. So, what about the other ones? Well, there's intelligence, right? I mean, what's good about not viewing yourself as very intelligent? Well, tell you what, when you don't think you're very intelligent and you'd like to be seen as intelligent, you try to learn a lot. And when you try to learn a lot, you get pretty damn intelligent. And, that's something that where, because it's an insecurity, obviously I don't feel like I'm there, but I mean, if I'm being fair with myself, I was a very naive kid, and I'm a lot less naive now. And, I wasn't very learned when I was younger, and now I'm a little more learned now. And that's something I feel very proud of. So, another skill where I might not, if I felt like, oh yeah, I'm smart enough, I might just kind of stay at the level I'm at. But now, since I want to be more intelligent, and I want to feel like I'm more intelligent, I make it a point to learn to actually be like that. So yeah, I mean, it's a really good thing. I'm just going to go through them all. I'll probably leave a timestamp at the beginning of this. But, so this is where the rant will go if you're like, okay, we get it. But I think this is good for me, and it's good for you, too. And this is what optimism is really all about. It's taking things at face value and, not seeing them for better than they are, but also not seeing them for worse than they are. Just kind of seeing them from where they are and changing your perspective. Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's changing your perspective. All right, so what were my other things? Forgetting, well, that one wasn't really much of an insecurity. Which, if it was more, I might work on my memory, but... And the last thing, being masculine, right? That's something every man, for the most part, wishes to be. And I wish to be like that. I grew up, my mom raised me, and, there's a lot of girls in my family. And, my dad, we haven't had a very strong relationship. He's a dope guy. I really like him. But, I didn't get too much opportunity to learn how to be a man from him. So what that does is now I go on that journey by myself, and I get even stronger by doing so. And you know, I don't do it by default, I do it by choice. And when you make a choice to do something, you go at it way harder than if it was given to you, or if it just, you just went with the flow and you're a leaf in the wind and now you're a certain way. Good for you. But all of this stuff has really inspired me to work on myself, and that's something that all insecurities can do for you. So I would suggest listing them all out and finding out which ones are important to you to kind of change. And if you do that, it'll be some good stuff going on. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I necessarily want to bring up on that front, but face your fears, right? Because right now there's so many people outside, and when I see them, I'm like, oh, I should end the video right now so I don't have to pass them and be talking to my phone. But I'm just doing it. And you know what? Once you do something, once you face a monster, it's like, oh wow. There's some sort of proverb that goes, a man in the night he walks and he sees a snake and he shrieks and runs away. But in the day, he sees, oh, it's just a rope. And so things you're afraid of, they may seem like snakes, but they're probably ropes. They're probably ropes. Hey, share this with a friend, would ya? And if you